Hey everyone, Tam's here. I'm back with another weekly wrap-up in my Midori Traveler's Notebook. Two things for today's video. First, I do apologize for the lateness of this video. These normally go up on Mondays, and my schedule was a little thrown off with the holiday weekend and being out of town. And two, I am experimenting with a new microphone today, so hopefully everything goes well. This is my second time filming this because I couldn't get the microphone to work properly the first time. So here we go. This week was special because it was my first time teaching a journaling workshop on how I use my Midori Traveler's Notebook. So I'm going to show a few snippets from the workshop and then come back and we'll get into the weekly wrap-up. Here are my materials for this week. If you're new to my channel, I use the Midori Insert 019 for my weekly entries. And this is the insert that has a free diary on the left side and grid paper on the right. I'll be using this washi tape. I am not sure who made it, and I'm not sure where I got it from, but this is the washi tape I'm using from my stash. I am using a Florida stamp and little ink pad. My pen this week is the Jelly Roll by Sakura. It's green. I really like this pen. I did not receive any mail this week to work with, and I don't have that many found items. So I'm going to be sketching this week. I'm going to sketch something special. So I'm going to be using, I've got colored pencils and watercolor pencils, but I also like these little Crayola twistables. These are fun to use as well, so I'm going to use those this week. And this week, during my Midori Traveler's Notebook class, the participants were given various stickers and things, and I snagged a few to use, but these are actually Midori stickers, and I'm going to show you how I use those as well as these here. So I thought I'd share with you some of the things I taught in the class. I won't go into too much detail, but I thought I would address the question most people want to ask when they see my notebook or they flip through it or they see the pictures on Instagram. And it is, how do I determine what I will include in my journal each week? In other words, how do I prompt myself? And I do have a system, and the system allows me to do an entry 1 hour a week every week, and I'll share just a little bit of that system with you now. I use this notebook to document the very positive things in my life that I want to remember, and those are things that are aligned with my vision for myself as well as the goals I have set for myself. So to keep me on track, I've shown this before, but I have a vision board in the front of my notebook, and there's an entire process that I go through to create my vision board and to set my goals for myself, and we did go into detail around that. It was exercise for the class. But I also take my vision and my goals and I create what's called measurable goals. Now these are goals that you can accomplish throughout the year or whatever your time frame is, and I make sure that when I'm planning my weeks or looking back on my weeks, I want to make sure that I have done the things that I have included in my vision and my goal setting. So that is how I determine what I'm going to document. So let's go to this past week. This is the entry that I did for this past week, and my biggest thing I wanted to remember was the workshop that I taught at the Paper Seahorse, and then on this side I decided to spend a little extra time and sketch the setup that they had at the Paper Seahorse. It's a beautiful space. I love being there, creating there, teaching there, and I just wanted to capture the little setup that they put together. And I do these layouts every week for a reason because one of my goals is to create art, and creating a layout is a way of creating art. Another way of creating art for me is my letter writing. Now, I do letter writing because the mail art allows me to create art, and the letter writing allows me to fulfill a creative writing goal that I have. So you'll notice each week I'm usually documenting the mail that I send out, the mail that comes in. I'm keeping track of all that. Also, I tend to document anytime we have a well, I have a personal goal to get outside more, and there's more details around that, and I won't go into that with you today, but um, I just made a note of how we got outside this week. So this week, my neighbors and I decided to have a little cookout. The weather's really nice in Florida. We can have a little fire pit. We did a hot dog roast and made some s'mores and just enjoyed some time outside. Um, I also just noted other things that fall in line with my goals and vision. So for decorating, as you can see, I use just various pieces of washi tape like I usually do. The stickers left over from the class, I use those here. We use these circles because a great way to create a little creative journaling entry is to write around the little circle. So just wanted to show you that as a tip. And also I included, as you can see, I included the little stamp of Florida because this was the theme I used for my envelopes that I sent out this week. Now, I did not receive any mail myself, so I just went through my letter stash and pulled some really cool stamps that I liked for decoration. And that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful. As always, I appreciate you joining me, and thank you for watching.